Hello there, I am DoctorDtwo and welcome back to Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. She faced Hella last time and didn't go so well. Voices in the head are getting more violent and more annoying. And apparently the ghost of her lover is somewhere out in these boats. Or it's a trick. Voices think it's a trick. But they suck. Screw the voices. I'm gonna look anyway.
Before she first met him, she was not in a good place. Just a teenager, but not like the others. Barely functioning, she rarely left the house. Her father's in-bell made sure of that. Only occasionally did she venture out on her own, collecting firewood and herbs. Errands out in the Orkney Plains. That was her world. Like this one. Barren and lonely.
I know there's got to be a symbol out here. Oh, and there's the dancing guy. That's the way to go. He's not going to be there.
It's already disappeared. Nothing lives here, not even you.
Alright, we gotta look out here for one of the symbols. I don't want to miss one. Voices, you're the ones in my mind. That light, that's optimism. That's pretty much what it is. That doesn't make it sound much better, does it? Nope, no it doesn't. Anyway, there's a path down there. That's not the way the dancing lights were, so... probably a letter. A symbol. Part of the circle. Oh, it's Mom. Hi, Mom.
Senua, there will be times that you will feel alone and exhausted. Like a strange little fish swimming against the tides of the big ocean. But have the faith to let go and let the tide carry you away. Because the whole ocean is your home, and it does not ask you to swim against it.
I'm not even sure if some of that counts as advice. I mean, did her mom really predict? It's like, Senua, one day you will kill half of a pantheon we haven't even heard of yet. Because we don't live there. But on the way you'll find out about them from a dying man. Oh, and swim with the ocean.
There he was. The lone figure of a boy. Swordplay under the shade
what?
of a tree. She remembers the first time she saw him. To her young eyes, he moved as if dancing. And the world danced with him. The gloom lifted. For the first time in years, she felt a ray of hope. Keep going.
I don't even see a tree. What are they talking about? Oh, hey, letter.
The Northmen tell of a great hero. His name is Sigmund. His father's hall was built around a great tree, and one day, Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree, a gift whomever can resist. Many try, for the sword comes out in Sigmund's touch. His brother-in-law, King Sigurd, wants it, but Sigmund refuses it. So King Sigurd plots revenge. He invites Sigmund and his brothers to a feast. When they arrive, they are met with an army, not a warm welcome. King Sigurd captures Sigmund and his brothers, steals his coveted sword, and readies them for execution.
Well, that's a messed up story. Sewers. Did Vikings have sewers? That seems... In fact, the stonework... I don't know enough about Norse history to say. I always assumed that they were focusing on wood and villages and boats. Are you a letter? Yes, you are.
Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain. But the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead. He agrees. Not for mercy, though, but because he plans an even more cruel and lingering death. Chained to a tree in the forest that night, a she-wolf comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She returns, ravenous, night after night, until only Sigmund is left. The next day, Sigmund's sister sends a servant with honey to smear on Sigmund's face. But to what end? Well, that night, when the she-wolf appears again, you'll never guess what happens.
This is not a happy story. Anyway, I should go see that door. And I guess that's most of them. I mean, they say it like it's just a thing. It's like, hey man, can I have that gift from the gods that you just happen to be gotten for like your birthday? But, nah man, it's mine. Oh. Well, I'm gonna plot revenge on you and everyone you love.
As the she-wolf licks the sweet honey from Sigmund's face, he bites the wolf's tongue. The she-wolf pulls away, but Sigmund holds on. The chains break, and he is free. After his escape, Sigmund lives like us, hidden in the forest. His enemy, King Siggeir, believing him dead, as his sister plots revenge. And for vengeance to succeed, even the great Sigmund needs help. So she sends her sons to him. But their blood is weak and corrupted, and they're put to death by Sigmund. So his sister hatches a new plan. One that is cold of heart and pure of blood.
That's even worse! It's like, hey, here are my sons, your nephews, for help. Nah, stab. Yeah, I need to find something to open this. I thought I would see symbols if I got up to it, but apparently I gotta go somewhere else. It says something about a tree, but I don't see one in the distance. Oh, it's all the way out there! Okay, that solves that problem. Well, what is this? Why is this here? I was actually kind of expecting to look down and see another picture of her mom. Camera does not like being here for some reason. So what kind of mom is just like, you know, what kind of mom is just gonna say like, hey, how was my sons? I sent all my sons there to help you. Go like, nah, they suck, so I killed them. Oh, I'll get something better. Ancient religions are weird, man. one of those symbols that tell me rune, letter, whatever you want to call them. Tell me more of Sigmund and that messed up family. Nothing out here. It's like a maze. I wonder if I'm gonna have to know how to get back. I mean, there's not... all the paths seem to go the same way. So it's like... I don't even know why there's multiple paths.
Day after day, watching from afar, she mimicked him, perfecting her own secret dance, wishing those fleeting moments of light would stretch out to last forever.
Well, there he is. But hey, there's also the story of Sigmund over here.
Sigmund's sister trades shapes with a sorceress, and in disguise, she lies with her own brother. She gives birth to a son named Sinfjötli. After a time, she sends him to the forest to Sigmund. He tests the boy and finds him strong and fearless, and so they go to take their vengeance. They're captured, and Siggeir has them buried alive.
I'm sure he'll enjoy the incest baby better than my own sons. It'll be my son and his son. He'll have 3 arms with which to take revenge with.
How does he so effortlessly court the world and bliss? If only she could do the same. See the world through eyes anew and dance with it, just like he does.
Well, I did want more of their relationship. Can I actually see what he looks like? Other than the, the head in the bag? Or the corpse in a thing?
What's your name?
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
I don't leave home much.
Oh, Zenua's daughter.
I have to go.
Wait. Who taught you to fight like that?
No one.
No one.
Well, I watched you, and
You learnt all of that from watching me? You should become a warrior, you know.
me?
I'm Dillian. I'm here for the warrior trials. Just come and watch. And bring your sword.
You can't put it into words. That moment when you look into the eyes of the one who's supposed to reassure you, make you feel safe. It only takes an instant. Fear swallows you before you have a chance to make sense of it. And darkness becomes a part of who you are. But her world changed the day the Northmen took him from her. Senua knows that there's no going back to how things were. That there's nothing to go back to at all. Stay still, stay quiet, hide, don't tell her.
Their gods can see into your mind. They will use this power to destroy you.
They won't stop me. I can still feel him.
Whatever's left of him, they will never let him go.
I'm not gonna let him rot here.
You're the one rotting here.
Leave me alone.
You will die here.
No.
And all your suffering will have been for nothing.
Shut up!
find you, my love. I promise.
It's an interesting touch how every time
Can you see him? You want to believe it. Is he not real? Is he there?
every time Dylan appears, or Dillian appears,
Nothing lives here.
we see through his eyes.
You won't survive.
But also,
You met
is that voice
She met him by the tree.
her?
Maybe it's a sign, the tree. What's he trying to
Well, what's this?
He's waiting
This
for
looks
you by
different.
the tree.
That's different. What is that? Oh, at least I get more of Sigmund. Tell me, how did you and your incest baby survive being buried alive?
As Sigmund and Sinfjotli are being buried alive, Sigmund's sister throws an armful of straw into the grave mound. Hidden in the straw is Sigmund's sword, the gift of Odin. They cut their way out of the grave mound and set fire to Siggeir's hall. The king burns to death. Sigmund calls to his sister to come out so that she may live and be honored. She does come out, but only to tell him the truth. That she had slept with him, her brother, to beget a strong avenger. I am not fit to live, she says, and walks back into the fire. Strike vengeance from your heart, Senua, as there is always a heavy price to pay.
I mean, did he not feel anything at that news?
And here is the end of Sigmund's story. He was a fierce and great warrior who fought many battles. But one day, an old man came onto the battlefield. Although shadowed by a hood, Sigmund saw that he only had one eye. The man raised his spear, and Sigmund struck at it with his sword, but the sword shattered into pieces. Sigmund then knew that this was Odin, and thus that victory could not be his. He bowed his head and accepted his end. Dying, he tells his wife that she is with child, and that her son will one day make a great weapon out of the fragments of his sword. The sword named Gram.
Okay, why did Odin come to kill him? I mean, he didn't know what he did. That hardly matters in those times anyway. So did... Whoa. The hell? What the hell is this?
Take it. A sword. Take it. Dillian left it for you. Take it. Take it. Take
Oh.
it. It's coming from there and there. What are they? Look, where's it coming from? She's starting something.
What's happening?
Senua, imagine a sword that can slay gods. Its name is Gram. It was forged by the god of all Northmen, Odin, and gifted to Sigmund, a great warrior.
I need this sword. It's important. Can you help me?
The sword appears whole, but it is an illusion. It shattered into shards long ago. It is said a great warrior can reforge Gram by answering the trials of Odin, one for each shard. The roots of the Tree of Death will take you to new lands, where you will face the trials.
Go to the shards. Go to the shard. Go to the shards. What's the shard? Find it.
Okay, so 3 more zones to do.
It's in front of you.
There we go. I knew there weren't anywhere close to done.
The roots.
The circle's barely started.
Go to the shard.
And now that explains why we had to learn about the incest baby of revenge. Anyway, we are out of time for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you next time. Later.